Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello world, what if I am What If Study, and today we're doing What If Deku was the reincarnation of the strongest hero, Season 2, Part 3. Deku wakes up in a gritty environment with blood streaming down his left eye. He's unable to see out of it. Clearly he's gotten tortured before, and as he feels around his arms, he can feel that he's unable to use his quirk. And his there's cuffs that are binding his quirk down, that are quirk binders, basically. He can hear some people talking from across the room, one muscular and one slim. And the slim one has a skull mask on. This fucker took a lot of beatings. I told you, you shouldn't kill him yet. You can get information out of him. Why don't you just do it when he's almost half dead? He already is. Look at him. So pale and fragile. You think I'm pale? Huh? He's alive. I can't believe it. Didn't you sock him at least 30 times? Yeah. Apparently he needed more beatings. Arrogant bastard. You will call me by my normal name, boy. How dare a kid talk to me like that? Don't get me wrong. I'm not one to be rude. But don't call me a kid. As then, Muscular, feeling like he's being threatened here, powers up to 50% with just his arm, as the guy that can siphon answers out of somebody that's alive, is like, no, stop, you're gonna kill him. As then he socks him in the face. As then Deku spits blood to the side. As then he looks up and says, harder. As Muscular's like, he really is insane. As then, Muscular powers up to full percent. He's like, I'm quite tired of you, kid. As then, this crazy bastard. As Deku's like, not as insane as you thinking that you were the ones that were keeping me here. As then, Muscular powers up to full percentage, missing Deku as he glides the punch off to the side, destroying the chair that he was in. As he jumps up and then goes up behind Muscular, he glides the chains around Muscular's neck, pulling down and hunkering him behind his butt, sort of keeping him in that sort of area. He holds on as hard as he can as he's smashed around the room until he's smashed down onto the ground. He gets a concussion from that, purely from just the power. As Muscular finally stops struggling, the skull guy's already made his way down the hallway. However, he snaps off the quirk stopping, things, but however they're still bound to his wrist. That guy has the keys. As then he gets into a power-up position and then bursts down the hallway, straight at the guy. Then he kicks him down, him falling straight to the ground. The key falls out from his pocket, as then it rolls under the door that goes in the biggest door in the place. This is giving me way too many memories. As then Deku opens up the door as he crushes the guy's head. The key is now on the floor in the middle of the whole entire the villain league, basically. And this they have like half the Vanguard collected, including freaking Toga, who's on the floor. She's sort of like picking up the key, and she's like, oh, do you need me to, do you want this? As then she like slowly slips it into her mouth and then eats it. As he's like, like I needed it. As then All For One's like, do you remember what happened last time you did this tango? Without your quirk, you're nothing. As he says, who said I would need my quirk? Ever. As then Deku closes his eyes as all of the villains attack as, Alpha One starts powering up and launches a gigantic drill at him. The rest of the villains attack his normal body as his spiritual one exits out from him. His spirit body goes all the way up into the sky and collects as much energy as it can, and then intensely collecting it in the sky as his body swiftly rises from the underground and then starts to flow up into the air as electricity starts to course around it. All of its wounds start to come back, heal from the battle, as not his left arm's still gone. However, it starts to recollect itself with electricity sort of binding around it, as there's a massive thunderstorm happening over Hiroshu. As a gigantic lightning bolt courses through the the ground, as then it hits the gigantic dome under the ground, electrocuting all of the members of the League of Villains, most getting fried. However, Alpha One stays there, just absolutely shocked. No pun intended. Deku, returning to his original body, says, "What did you think was going to happen? Did you really think that even for a second, you were the one that bested me? Brother. This whole time I've been waiting to be taken to your secret hideout. You think that girl could have beaten me? Posing as Midnight, how cliche. I should have her killed for that. But I won't, since she's just an innocent little girl who is just corrupted by you. I will take everything here." As then, Alpha One's like, "God damn it. Doesn't it make you angry, brother? Come on, let's fight one last time." As Alpha One's like, "Fuck this!" As then, he snaps his fingers and a villain from the sides activates his earthquake quirk, splitting open the whole entire underground, as the Hiroshomu, the place, Hiroshu, I think it was called, whatever. Zip back to this morning, when Deku had calmly waked up to see a new and bright, beautiful day. Deku went into his, normal classroom, proud of what his students have done. Over the time that has spent over these few months, he has gotten quite a lot of them to open up to him, especially the girls. They've all figured out that they can't exactly win him over. However, they all still battle anyways. They love the competitive nature in the sort of classroom. So does he. This sort of combination of, feelings makes the classroom a great and wonderful experience to be around. Since he came there, many people actually referred him over Aizawa, because Aizawa was a little bit cold and harsh to a lot of them. Deku would open up to them in the most sensitive spots. Deku, however, admits that he had overlooked some of them. So he selects maybe about half the classroom and invites them to his personal training grounds. Each one of them I will list thus. Kirishima, you have great, almost zero potential actually, never mind. But with your sheer determination to physically gain enough power to be the rest, I have an idea for the exact perfect physical training for you. Ojiro will be your training partner for the rest of the day. Every single day for 3 hours, you shall be just smacked around by Ojiro. Ojiro, you can practice your martial arts on him too. Actually, wait a minute. As Ojiro's like, yes, what? He's like, never mind. You actually stay behind. I'll do it myself. As Ojiro looks kind of like, what does he mean? As, he's like, yeah, you gotta stay afterwards for a second, actually, now that I remember. As I'll just do it myself. Confusing Kirishima too. Because he's like, I'm gonna have to fight you? And he's like, don't worry about it. you'll just have to learn how to handle quirks. I will provide the special support for this. Deku moves on to the three arms guy. He tells him that he can use his arms into different organs, not like the ones on his face, more like other arms and legs. Can he change it into different physical things, or can he muscular up? Does it have to be something on his face? So, trying to test that out, Deku leads him to it. Tsukiyomi, he has zero clue exactly. He will admit he has no idea exactly how to help him, except for just straight up going in the darkness and trying to handle it. There's not much Deku can help him with. It's not something that he's normally known, really. He's never had any difficulties with Alawa being in his brain. However, he can sympathize with him, and he just feels bad for leaving him in the dust. However, he can't help him, and it hurts him. It hurts Deku. Anyways, next person, the lightning guy. I'm going to be completely honest. Totally forgot that he was a person. Don't really still care. But let's say he's like, power the whole entire city for 5 seconds. That's your goal. And to help you along the way, I'll share, touch my chest. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, just touch my chest. He's like, but that's kind of, I don't think we should do that. He's like, just touch my chest, dude. And then he's like, okay, fine. As he like pushes him basically. Alawa, like seeps into, through his arm, like electricity wise. And, connects to, him. And basically, it's insane. Like he can feel the power of Alawa and a mini Alawa kind of correlates into his mind, like kind of giving him tips now. Like, but it's only a set understanding. It's just like the basic Alawa. It's like, you should do this whenever you're, using electricity. But it's not like actually Alawa. Alawa can never put himself into somebody else. It's bound by a curse basically to Deku. Deku now goes on to Momo. In class, out in his personal gym, he brings up lingerie, like underwear basically. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, put it on. And it's like skinny. It's really skinny. So she's like, I don't think I should be doing this. He's like, okay, the last guy said the same thing. She's like, yeah, but that was him touching you. That's nothing. This, is this sexual harassment? No. He's like, please don't call that on me. I just need you to put it on. I think this is more awkward for me more than it is for you. Please, just put it on. She's like, okay. So she puts it on, and he's like, you know what? I actually got a perfect idea. As he sees her in this, very skimpy outfit, he's like, yikes. Actually, I got a great idea for this. So he goes back and gets Midnight's clothes, and she puts it on. She's like, it's kind of big. He's like, that's good, so that nobody's staring at you. She's like, hey, you're right. But it also covers less skin because it's not directly on you. Why do people wear spandex anyways when they're fighting? I get it. It's more combat oriented, but it's still like, whatever. She's like, sure. As then he's like, create as much as you can in this span of time. Every single 5 minutes that you spend, every single hour, you shall be making stuff. You shall be eating raw materials and making as much as you can every single day. You have to wear that exact outfit while you do it. She's like, He's like, don't worry. This is what Midnight went through. She constantly is secreting normal air to try to train her glands. Trust me, I have her on a way more strict schedule. She's like, how do you have a relationship with that woman? He's like, honestly, she's a saint. I don't know. So then we go on to, it's that Koda. No, wait. No, it's the guy that can talk to animals. Deku has honestly zero clue what to do with this kid. He has no idea, because he doesn't understand people like him. He doesn't understand shyness. He has always been in the limelight. He has always, not really had to work to be in the limelight, because he's always had so much power, and he's always, known what to do in the moment. He has great situational awareness. He has no idea why this kid is shy. However, he does have some understanding of it, because Alawa had helped Deku release himself through training. So he started out Koda on a very regular schedule of trying to talk to more and more and more and more animals, until he started talking to huge beasts like bears and stuff like that. And then he starts sitting down with Koda and just puts forward some tea and starts talking to the kid. Once he finally figures out what this kid needs, it's a friend. Somebody who he can talk to in a normal voice, not whisper. I mean, if he could barely even talk with a normal person, how could he, with nature, how could he talk normally with a normal person? So, I think, oh fuck, Mineta. Alright. So, Mineta, you little shit. Saw how you were looking at, Midnight. Mineta's like, oh, is that so? Is there any way to apologize for this? Deku's like, realistically, no. Am I going to get this shit beaten out of me? Every day, yes. Is it because you're pissed off at me? Maybe. Oh. Well, are you at least gonna teach me some cool techniques like you did with Bakugo? You're making this worse, kid. I know. Protection bubbles? He's like, that's not gonna work. He's like, I use them to anchor my opponents down in place. Deku's like, now you're thinking. Now to beat my lessons into you. And he just uses Mineta as his getaway, just beats the shit out, ever-living shit out of him whenever he needs to. Because, it's like Mineta has those balls, which allow him to just get tossed around. Him and, Harden dude just become his body bags. Every single day, he's with both of them, grinding, grinding away. Using new techniques on Mineta, keeping him on his toes, and then just brute forcing his way through, can't remember his fucking name. Can never remember it. Anyways, he returns home from his long days at work. He releases his metal arm down to the onto his little mantle, as it was made out of clockwork material. It had kept storage compartments for poison gas and different stuff that would allow him to pick locks, different things that he would need to defeat villains too, like water. Just utilities that he stored inside of the arm. On the outside, it looks like a normal-ass arm. He rests that on his sort of mantle as he walks up to his bed. Midnight greets him right at the door. He instantly kisses her on the lips, saying, "Good night, honey. I didn't realize that you were up this late," as he did return at almost 10 o'clock. PM, by the way. She suddenly stumbles back really awkwardly and holds herself tight as she says, "Oh, yes," as she holds her hands behind her back. Deku peers outside the window, staring down onto the city below. I think I'm finally making the impact I've wanted all this time. And that'll end it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you sometime, somewhere. Goodbye.